all by myself. Let's see. Probably just gonna. Somebody's here. I'm actually really excited to tell everybody about this. I've been holding back for a couple of months. It's been kind of hard to control myself and not just blab, but in the end game, it's gonna be good. Somebody came and left. Somebody was here and then they left. Look at that. But yeah, it's I'm beyond excited right now because I have to let me know if the audio and everything was working good. I don't know about this webcam. Sun came out. That's good. I'm sitting here talking to myself, but we'll talk for the recorded viewers. And if people get here, they get here. If they don't, they don't. They can watch the recorded playback. I'm not going to hold up too long. Maybe a couple more minutes here. Meantime, I'll just kind of get into some basics. So we don't have Maverick right now. We've actually not had the Maverick for probably a month and a half total. Luckily, my wife is very understanding, and I'm a very lucky man to have her in my life because she supports this, which is crazy to me because it's me taking her brand new car away. So I did have to apologize to her and basically tell her sorry for making the newest, most reliable thing we have a project. And she replied, "I'd be worried if you didn't." So that's how you know, fellas. That's how you know. She supports my bad decisions. Bad, but good. It's going to help the community, this decision, I think. Big time. This is big. But, yeah. So I partnered up with a local company here in Ohio, and we came up with some stuff. They did all the legwork, and the refresh rate on this video to me, the playback, it's all choppy. So you guys have to let me know. I guess I'll see it when I watch it back. But there's a video that's gonna be released. It took a while. We're learning the editing. The editing is the software is overcomplicated that we bought. I'm sure it's great. It has a lot of features, but it's confusing. It's not straightforward. And with our day jobs being extremely busy over the last couple months, we've had a video together about the engine hour meter that I promised. A couple of you had asked, and I did the video. I went in depth, but we're getting it thrown together and edited, and that'll be out probably within the next couple of days. We're trying to make a new intro, like a real intro, and getting rolling with things. there's going to be a GoPro very soon, and a bunch of cool things are going to be happening. I just, it's been challenging because it's gloomy right now. In northern Ohio, it's gloomy. You get sun here and there, but it's just that it's not really snowing, except for in California right now. But it's gloomy, and then you'll get these little bursts of sunshine real quick to tease you. Excuse me. And I'm solar powered. I like the sun. I did marry a Canadian, so I do like the snow too. But you got to be one or the other for me. The northern Ohio gloominess sometimes, seasonal depression wise, it'll get you. Like, I don't know, just not. It's all wet and damp and cold and just dreary. But yeah, rambling a little bit. That's in the video too. But the engine hour meter video is coming out, and I think you guys will like it because it helps. I mean, I like to see the engine hours because, I mean, if it's idling, I mean, our truck doesn't idle that much, which is good. I mean, I think every engine hour, every idle hour is 30 miles. I think is the calculation. I could be wrong. Correct me. But regardless, that's not being counted if you don't have an hour metered function. So, I mean, maintenance wise, you're getting a false number if you say you go 5,000 miles, but you idle, for, I don't know. I see some crazy numbers at work, but if you idle for 5 hours total, in the period of 6 months or so, you gotta think about that. And 5 hours is usually low if you factor in remote start in 15 minutes a day. People can schedule their remote starts every single day now. So you can schedule it to do 15 minutes every single, like, before work, after work, and it'll do it. So that's a half hour, you know what I mean? It can add up really quick. So I'm trying to keep this thing in good shape. And I believe in preventative maintenance is key. Fluid's cheap insurance. Obviously, you don't want to overchange it because it's a waste of money. But at the same time, I mean, you don't want to. I see some outlandish claims. Manufacturers saying 20,000 miles for an oil change. I don't know. It's not for me. I'd rather not have to test the integrity of that and come out burned. And there's a lot of fine print on those oil changes too. But I think I'm about ready to start getting into it. The video is coming out. You'll see it. It's coming out like real quick. It's pretty much, it's done. It just need to figure out if we're going to do the intro or it's going to be a next time thing. We've done some intros before and they turned out okay, but we have a goal of what we want to do. And dancing around copyright and that, like I say, we're not full-time YouTubers. We have full-time jobs and we're figuring it out. Plus, I fixed stuff here and there for friends on the side, learn some things. I'm working on Acadia right now. Did a dual catch can setup. That was kind of neat. Those GM 3.6s, I've never liked them, but this one I'm starting to get. It's getting whipped into shape. High miles, but they're just set up to fail, like PCV wise. Oil ingestion with direct injection. That's one thing that we haven't done yet that we are going to do. I'm going to contact JLT. I think it's just JLT is actually JL now. There's no more T. So I have a catch can set up for the Maverick. I just need the hoses and the fittings which I can obtain elsewhere. That's not going to be fun. I think I'm pretty sure I have to pull the intake manifold at least backwards to get the outlet on, and I believe the inlet and the outlet are side by side. I think take a hose off. I've watched some videos on that, but definitely think it's worth it. Direct injection. Because I'm a walnut. There's going to be a walnut blasting video on this Acadia. So look forward to that. That might be the first GoPro video. So, which would be kind of neat. I bought a media blaster, portable media blaster, and fine walnut shells. So we'll get that before and after. I have my borescope too, where we can borescope the cylinders and show you before and after, or not the cylinders, the valves, the intake valves. So the 3.6s are crazy for carbon. You'll get 5/16 of an inch size pieces of carbon on the valve stem. I've seen it. I've got pictures on my borescope of it. And I bought an adapter for the shop vac. That's 3D printed just for that engine for walnut blasting. So you can run the shop vac and put a hose on the gun, the media blaster gun, and shoot the carbon off and suck it back out at the same time. So that'd be kind of neat. Won't make as big of a mess. Hey, we got somebody here. That's cool. Yeah, so we're working with Stainless Works. Want to get some news out because I don't want to release the whole thing, but Stainless Works in Streetsboro, Ohio, has worked with us. We've loaned them the truck to have fun with, and they've had it for about a month and a half. We took it back and we actually real world tested their product without telling anybody. So they have developed a stainless steel 304 3-inch catback exhaust for trains. No, I hate trains. I'm moving so far away from trains when we buy a house. So they've developed a catback exhaust for the Maverick 2-liter EcoBoost 3-inch, and it is nice. It is really nice, and immediate power. Just uncorked the crap out of that thing, and you would not believe the difference in that. I didn't think it was going to be, a big difference, but so the truck's been dynoed too. I'm not going to say a bunch about that, but I will tell you the stock at the wheel horsepower was, and this is a 2-liter EcoBoost 4K tow, 22 Maverick XLT. At the wheel horsepower of that truck, after 3 runs was 199 and 217 torque. So 199 horsepower and 217 torques. Come on, spill it. Yeah, nice. So yeah, real world wise, they advertise that thing, I think, at like 260, 275, which drivetrain loss, you're going to have it. So that's cool, but it's not that much, So I was happy to see that, but yeah, this exhaust is wicked. I cannot wait for it to hit the market. You guys got to watch their website and follow them on Facebook, YouTube. They're not paying me for this. They're not paying me to advertise this. But there's something else that's going on. They are developing what I think is the first in North America, at least that I can see, carb legal downpipe, true 3-inch. There's no other out there. I've looked. All I found was Focus ST stuff and that, but it's different. So yeah, that's big, and that's been developed already. So it's more than in the works, and it's already been on the truck. So watch for dyno numbers. The dyno numbers are coming. But yeah, be excited, because that, I can just tell you that it'll likely change the truck for everybody. And I haven't seen anybody else do it. I've watched MRT. I could be completely wrong here, but I've watched MRT, MBRP. I don't know. Flowmaster, I think, did something, but those are the big two brands that I know of that have made exhaust for these trucks. There's more, but yeah, full stainless exhaust going to be available from the Maverick. Turbo back, high flow cats, full 3-inch. The factory downpipe is 2 1/4. It goes from the turbo to 2 1/4, like immediately. 2 1/4. So you can imagine what that's going to do. It's I promise you, it's good. So there's going to be a video that Stainless Works. Stainless Works does great videos. They're gonna release a video on the exhaust, different sound comparisons. So hey, so you're going to be able to see different comparisons. You know, they do great videos. So, and they might even do an install video. I'm not sure, but yes, you know what? My neighbors, they can take it and shove it. No, I'm kidding, kind of. They have a loud truck, and they come home and they rev it just because. Like, they'll rev it, and it's right up against the side of the house, and just rev it for no reason. So we get up earlier than them, so that'll be okay. We're early risers, so they do this at night, and it's not good. But yeah, it's not bad though. The catback, I'll tell you, from driving, not bad. It's actually very bearable, especially with the 8-speed. So there's some more stuff we're going to be doing after everything's said and done. There's another company we reached out to for some cool stuff. But Stainless Works is partnered. There's 3 companies under one roof. It's a huge facility. If you ever get a chance and you call them, you might be able to arrange a tour. Seriously, check them out on YouTube. They do some high quality stuff. But there's three companies under one roof, and you have Stainless Works, you have Metal Fab Group, and Reaper Off Road. So Reaper Off Road is a new company that is making a lot of Bronco parts, full-size Bronco parts, Jeep parts, a lot of rock guards, bumpers, anything to do with bending metal and welding it together. They do it, and they make some really cool stuff for the Bronco and that. And yeah, gonna just ask for a show of hands here and comments. A little bit of me looking for more interest, because I have expressed my interest in a new shield for the under the front of the Maverick there, because I hate that thing. That felt garbage that is on there right now. And tell me, oh yeah, cool, like the videos. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's trolling or if that's true, but yeah, I don't know. I'm new at this, so I'm not great in front of the camera yet, but I kind of like just saying what I see, you know. But anyway, that shield needs to go. There needs to be something better on the market for that shield, because that shield is awful. It's not even a shield. Like, if you hit anything underneath that thing, it's gonna rip it right off. I mean, yeah, I can probably pull it off the truck if I wanted to get under there and pull it off the truck. I could probably pull it off myself. And they need to have something better. So I kind of dropped a bug in somebody's ear, and Chris over at Stainless Works, everybody over at Stainless Works, top-notch people, and Metal Fab too. So, and Reaper, but the whole company is great and so nice, state-of-the-art facility. And I'm like, hey, if there's enough interest, if I can see if there's enough interest, could we entertain a redesign of a actual metal shield for the front of this thing with, the integrated PTU cooler and things like that, everything that you need, and then maybe like a panel, like a removable or door or something for the oil fill or oil drain and oil filter, just access for that, maybe even the PTU drain, but you would take it off for that service. But something other than what that shield is, because I've already had to buy bolts and retainers because I knocked the threads. They're coarse thread, almost like a self tapper, and I've already knocked the thread off, just hand threading it in, just knocked it off, and it was just spinning on that blank spot. You guys see me bust myself in the face almost taking the shield down. So they're junk, and there could be something better, something that could be easy, maybe Zeus fasteners, something. But if it was metal, I think it would really appeal to the FX4 guys and the off-road guys, the people that do light off-roading with these trucks. And let's see. So the FX4, does it come with a steel guard underneath the front of it? Because I wasn't sure about that. I was pretty sure they were all felt, but I could totally be wrong because I don't have an FX4. But okay, two-piece. Yeah, so two-piece right there. And you have to take both of them down just to do the oil change? Because I wouldn't like that. I think I have to do that with the Maverick. I think there's two. Yeah, that's not good. There could be such a better design. I mean, you should only have to remove that big thing, the whole thing, if you have to do, like say you're doing a drain and fill on the PTU, which Ford made really easy, which is great because I plan on prematurely doing that. So if they can come up with a design, because I'm sure they have a 3D scanner there and everything. I know they have laser. They cut everything by laser. They hand TIG weld all their exhaust. So they've got like a 60 or 80 foot long laser tube to cut metal and to fisheye things and all kinds of stuff. So I just think it'd be really cool and a good opportunity while the truck's there if they wanted to take measurements in that and see if anybody's interested other than me, because I told them, I said, there's probably a lot of people that would buy that because the thing that's on there from the factory is absolute garbage on the XLT non-FX4. And I'm going to have to look into maybe call the dealer and actually see if they have an FX4 up there and go up there and check it out and take some pictures of what that metal shield looks like, because it doesn't sound very good. But yeah, I'm excited. My wife is excited too, and I told her about what was going on and the recent development after when the downpipe was created, and she's just super super excited. And told her, said, we're gonna get this back. You're gonna get a speeding ticket, and I'm gonna have to limit her my key or something because she likes to go fast. She drives faster than me. Got worse gas mileage when we did. I was cracking on her for the green filter. I was able to get. I think I got that thing up to 34 miles a gallon on the highway in eco mode. But I guess I'm a grandpa. And she can't. She's a 26 mile per gallon or less. We did have a problem. I don't know. I think I made a video. Purge valve went bad already. And that took a while to get in. And get fixed. But with that sticking shut and not venting the vapor like it should, the fuel vapor, it definitely hurt the gas mileage big time because you use that fuel vapor as supplemental. It's less fuel you have. Vapor combusts pretty good, helps out. And but yeah, that took that thing with it being winter fuel and a bad purge valve and not venting fuel tank vapor. That took it down to 19, 20, 22 miles per gallon. That was not a good time. That's why I was telling them, I was like, hey, we need to get this fixed, guys, because they were kind of lollygagging a little bit. But that's a horrible design on that purge valve. For some reason, they made it non-serviceable separately. You have to buy a whole, like, though it looks like an octopus. It's crazy. It has one in from the tank, and then it has two that come off and then split off into with check valves and everything, 2 lines. But if you look it up, it's the same purge valve, like connector and purge valve assembly, as the Focus ST. So if you look at that, I think it's like a 2017 Focus ST has the same purge valve, I believe, and the one on the Maverick is heat shrunk. The lines, the plastic, their nylon lines are heat shrunk, and you can't replace just the little purge valve. You have to buy the $200 when it goes out of warranty. You're going to have to buy it, the $200 purge valve assembly, which who knows what it'll be then. But you can buy a Focus ST purge valve on the cheap for, like, if it's going to be like they're going to go to bed all the time. You can buy them for like $16 off of eBay, and just have a spare basically, and just fix it up with some hose barbs, and some rubber hose, and have it removable. It's the same plug and everything. That's the way it should be. I mean, look at any other vehicle, and it's removable. That 2019 Edge, you could remove it. It was a short little guy. You can remove it. I don't know why they did this. They made it like a proprietary. It's not good. Yeah. And protect for sure, but is it like it's like a hinge basically? So you got your rear shield and front shield, and then they bolt together with the same bolts. There's nothing to irritate me more than if that's the case, because you got to balance that up here like this above your head, because you take the bolt out and they both want to come down and go all over. Yeah, that's not cool. That's not. There could be something better if it was a one piece and made out of some nice material. I think maybe I don't know what those are, probably steel, but for what we're doing, aluminum would work fine. Like, it's gonna protect more than, I don't know, my unprotected Focus. There's a lot of cars and trucks out there without skid plates that have been on the road and stayed on the road, and crazy people run over parking blocks, and they still don't screw anything up major. So a lot of that, I think, might be unnecessary, and aluminum will actually shed heat too. So really, you'd only have to worry about maybe the salt and the between the steel subframe and the aluminum piece. Maybe have something to separate it for bimetal. But yeah, I really don't. If it was decently thick, because aluminum's lightweight, you could probably make it 3/16 of an inch thick, and it'd probably weigh less than the steel shield and take an impact better too. It'd probably take an impact way better. Cat's going crazy. Hey, what are you doing crazy? But that'd probably be a lot more friendly. And then the door thing, I think, would be really cool if you were able to take like hatches down, or a little door for engine oil drain, and then one for oil filter, or maybe like just a rectangle. I don't know, one piece. If you didn't have to take the whole thing down every service, that'd be pretty sweet. Because I think there's a ton of fasteners on that thing right now. Like I can't imagine being an oil change guy right now with everything having a bunch of crappy shields. Like your day, you're just dealing with crappy shields all day. Crappy shields and hot oil. And how fast can you do it? That's all they're going to want. Is, hey, hurry up. And then, oh, hey, I can't put the shield back on. Or they're going to hurry up. And I see it all the time. The F-150s, they've tried to improve that design a couple times. When I was at the dealer, they had Zeus fasteners. And they would lock in. They would cam lock in. Well, they didn't always do that. So they ended up upgrading those to, I believe they were speed nuts and, like M6 or M7 bolts. And they were better. But you always see F-150s driving around with the shield flapping and hitting the ground in that. So I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, if they could do that with the shield, I think that would be really cool. If not, maybe we'll just pay them to make it, design it, because the Metal Fab Group, they do that kind of thing too, but they do more of an industrial supply. Like if your company needs a run of 200 things that are special little boxes made, or that, hey Izzy, what are you doing? You're crazy. So but they do a lot of special projects for people, big companies. They can bend stuff there. They have a bunch of brakes, hydraulic brakes, huge. I don't even know what to call them. Press brakes. They have press brakes. They have tons of fixtures. They have a jig made for like every exhaust that they make. Stainless steel, like their headers and that, they have a jig made for it. So they just sit there and they TIG weld. And that's where I really like that. It's not computer welded. It's hand TIG welded, like by humans in 2023. That's big because humans don't do a lot of things anymore. So it's skilled labor, American made, and 304 stainless steel. I mean, that's nice. That's really nice. That's going to be sweet. But yeah, exciting things to come. So we should see it. I'd probably give them a couple weeks because they already had the catback done, which the catback was basically the hardest part, because there were some issues that I noticed and brought up to them with like watching. I'm weird. I watch crash tests before I buy vehicles, and that's what really irked me on this truck, because I couldn't watch the crash test before I bought it, and I had to stick my wife in it. So that I emailed NHTSA, I emailed IIHS, and I got a response. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, there was a crash test. So, but yeah, every time trains. So every time the thing was hit from the side, you get T-boned in a Maverick. I noticed that the exhaust falls off every single time. Like every video. There's only a couple of videos, but it falls on the ground. Like we're talking 60% of the exhaust all the way up to underneath the driver compartment, like underneath the driver's seat. It just falls on the ground. And it's not a big deal, but if you're moving and it's not just controlled side hit like they do, they just come in and smack from the side. I gotta plug this thing in. Oh, stand by for news. But they get hit from the side, and the exhaust falls right off, and drags on the ground. So it's not a big deal if you're sitting still, like they hit, and they just slide sideways. It just slides sideways, falls, and hits the ground immediately. But if you're sliding sideways and rolling, say you're rolling backwards, forward, something like that, that's another object hanging off your truck, flying around and stuff. And it's a heavy exhaust. the factory exhaust is very unattractive. Very, like when I saw it on the ground, I could not believe how ugly that thing is and dysfunctional. Two big mufflers, and well, one's technically a resonator, and then the main muffler underneath the middle of the truck. That thing is huge. So just having that gone is going to be nice. And something I did notice about the factory exhaust is it's so small in diameter. I believe it gets really hot. Their dogs are going crazy here. But I believe it gets really hot under load, high EGTs or something, because it was blue, like someone took a torch to it. And maybe that's from towing the camper, but they advertise it. So I think with this bigger exhaust, it's going to be able to keep it a lot cooler, obviously, and less restriction. So that'll be good because it's evident. It is extremely evident that exhaust was hot repeatedly. Either that or Ford's just using cheap material. Because for 10,000 miles, they took it off. Let's see, probably about 7,700 miles. The stock exhaust came off, and it looked like it had 65,000 miles on it. I mean, it did not look nice at all. So put surface shield coating underneath. Yeah, a lot of heat shields, ton of heat shields. And just the weight of the factory exhaust is insane. I mean, I think the main muffler is like this big. It's huge. So, and then the one that dangles back in the back, it's not light either. So, and you couldn't even hear this thing when you start it and run it. And the weep hole was leaking so much, like crap, like just looked like it was running rich almost. But that's like an EcoBoost thing anyways. I guess that's good. If you want to add an air intake, you've got room, to add more air without leaning it out to where you're going to hurt it too bad, which is I'd rather be running, rich than lean if I'm going to add stuff, which we haven't done it yet. And it sucked because Black Friday, they had a sale. I think it's AFE had a sale on the Momentum GT air intake, and I was going to buy it. And I should have just bought it, but we ended up buying, some other stuff on Black Friday. So I bought a snowblower. Joke's on me. And all the snow's gone. So everybody can thank me for that. It seems like every time I buy a snowblower or a plow truck, it doesn't snow. So, but yeah, I'm going to do the AFE Momentum GT intake, and I think that's really going to wake that thing up too, because it replaces the whole air box, which is just stupid ugly. So it should be pretty nice to tow with. I'm kind of excited to go camping and that, and just normal driving. So there's already a company reaching out to me to tune it, and I'm not going to do it just yet because of factory warranty. But I did joke with my wife, Britt, that I said we're gonna end up blowing this thing up, and whether it's covered or not, which we haven't done anything that'll make it. We still have a very good case if something goes wrong, but I told her if it blows up, we'll just 2-3 swap it and go from there. I think that'd be freaking sick, because we're not going to get rid of this thing. It's the first vehicle she's ever had brand new. I could not pry it away from her if I tried. So, yeah, I think a Maverick RS swap would be mint. All right, we'll see you. Thanks for coming. But I think an RS swap and a Maverick, a 350 horsepower Maverick, would be just insane. Especially like a 6-speed. If you were able to do a manual trans swap, oh, that would be nice. It wouldn't be nice for towing, but man, would it be nice for rocking around. So, but yeah, some cool stuff is coming, I promise. Like I say, you're probably going to see a video either tonight or tomorrow released. It's going to mention things happening at Stainless Works. So that there's that. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. A lot of good things coming. Also, I'm going to be doing the front and rear bumper driving and reverse lights. So I'm going to put rigid driving lights on the front of it because I think that thing lacks a lot on front lighting. It's too high. You don't see there's a lot of the old cars. You guys remember the old cars had cornering lights and that. So when you take a corner with that thing and it's super dark outside, you can't see anything. You can pass the driveway really, really quickly. And I'm gonna have some brackets made for those square pieces on the front bumper that kind of look like a fog light should go there, but there's no fog lights. I'm gonna have some bezels made for the rigid LED driving lights with the amber. I'm gonna do amber. There's a couple colors. They're kind of like Baja lights. I want to say they're probably about 4 inches, but rectangles, and they're flat. So they're made to be recessed, which I'm gonna do. So they'll be recessed, and I'm gonna do a nice switch because I don't want it looking hokey. So, but driving lights would be nice, and tie the ambers and rings, the halo rings, into the park lights. That'd be pretty choice. So front lighting and then reverse lighting. The reverse lighting's not good on that thing at all. And I could just put brighter bulbs in, but I'd like something closer to the ground. So I think I'm going to actually go into the rear bumper on that thing too and recess some rigid flood lights on the back so I can see when I'm backing up. So, but yeah, cool things are happening. Can't wait. It's going to be super cool. Like I say, I have things that I'm not going to release right now because they work really hard and they deserve it. So, but I will be providing links and updates when they do make their video and release their product, and see what's going to go on there. And I think it's going to be cool. Maybe when we go pick it up, we'll see if we can do a little tour and kind of show off a little bit there and show some things inside, see if they like that idea. But Chris and all the guys at Stainless Works can't thank you enough. Another company that we're trying to work with afterwards, I'll kind of uncap something else cooking, but it's getting set up to where we can work with DEI, Design Engineering Incorporated, here in Ohio. It's actually in Avon Lake, Ohio. And they have interest in making a insulation kit. So under hood, under carpet, sound, heat. This would be a thermal and acoustic barrier, but toyed with talking with them and seeing if they were interested in making a kit, and they had already gotten inquiries on it under hood insulation anyways for the Maverick, because there's no engine cover, there's no nothing, and you can definitely hear the fuel pump on that thing and the injectors, like the high pressure and the injectors. You can hear it. It's like a sewing machine. So it'd be kind of cool if they did come up with some sort of under hood insulation. And then inside, you guys know in the Maverick, there's like no insulation on the back wall or any of that stuff. They're just they're inexpensive trucks. It's going to be made like an inexpensive truck. You can't ask for, high dollar Lincoln experience without buying a Lincoln. The closest thing I've seen to that is Mazda. Mazda does a really, I think, quality job for inexpensive cars. So they've gotten more pricey now, but they used to be like 2015. You can get a Mazda 3 that was pretty quiet inside, and it felt higher quality than, say, a Focus or something like that. Same kind of price point. And you didn't have a DPS 6, or I think that is the dual clutch transmission. I could have said that wrong. I try to forget those transaxles. Garbage. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, any of that. But if you guys don't want to hear me shut the hell up, I could go ahead and end her off here. I have a tendency to ramble a little bit. Like I say, new at this. So it's about beer 30 though. And there's a Puddin's Fab Shop video I have to go watch that I missed yesterday. That's how my Mondays go. Puddin's Fab Shop, 6 p.m. I'd also like to take a second here and congratulate my wife, Brittany. One of her biggest accomplishments yet for herself, personal goals, is she's now a recognized floral designer, which is pretty cool. Good job to her, because she works really hard. She really loves flowers. The Maverick does flowers. It's the reason we got rid of the Escape, because she had the Escape Titanium and she was throwing dirt in the back of it and everything. The thing was just way too fancy for us. So when I saw an advertisement for the Maverick, I was like, that's what you need. So we ordered one immediately. And I'll tell you, best vehicle for us. That is the best vehicle we could have ever bought. And that's why I ordered another one. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I did order another Maverick, and I was able to get it in before the cutoff, which is good. So we do have another Maverick coming, 23. Hopefully it actually makes it this year, because it's one of the ones that made ordering get shut down so fast. They shut down 23 ordering within like a couple of weeks, I think it was, from them opening it up. And they shut it down so fast because they had to cancel a bunch of, or not cancel, but they had to turn 22s into 23s because they couldn't fulfill them. So they were so behind on like hybrid orders that they had to turn them into 2023s because they couldn't do it. And then they realized kind of how things were going to go on how popular these trucks are, and they shut down the ordering. So luckily I got my order in and it was confirmed. Now I haven't got any other updates other than monthly or every 45 days they email me and they go, due to supply and demand or due to supply chain inconveniences and shortages, same message, general crap. They send it to me every 45 days. We know you're excited to get your new vehicle, but COVID stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, but it is ordered and I'm happy about that. I ordered a 2023, what was it? Iconic Silver XL hybrid with the trailer hitch and the spray and bed liner and the power inverter. Kind of base model type, because I'm going to use it as like a little work truck, and that if I need to haul an engine to do an engine swap, I can do that. Be a lot better than using my Focus. So The thing was, it was an easy decision. I told you guys about the decision on that was made because the Focus gets 30 miles per gallon. Well, Maverick will get better than that on a bad day, being a hybrid. So that was a no-brainer. But yeah, I'm excited though for that. That's going to help out a lot. I mean, being able to just have the truck bed, we use that truck bed for everything. You wouldn't think that truck bed would be a good truck bed to use all the time for all your crap. But if you've got crap and you move other people's crap, that's a truck you need because it's just enough crap to move. We've used that thing for everything. I did see in what was it, Cabela's parking lot in Avon, Ohio. There was a Maverick XL. It was cactus gray, I think, and it had a ladder rack on it, like a nice looking over the tonneau cover type ladder rack, and that gave me a lot of ideas. I was like, oh man, I need that. That's awesome. So, alrighty, don't look at that on the TV. Whoops. That's an Easter egg right there. Nobody's here right now, but all right, guys. We'll see you later.